Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start by saying the Democrats and the Republicans and I, although on separate parties, still have some agreements. We both want to fix the economic problem currently at hand. We both want to decrease unemployment, and we both have plans. However, those plans are very different. As president, I plan to work towards pulling us out of the economic problem, or not as president. Sorry. As vice president, I plan to work to help Romney work towards pulling us out of this economic problem by lowering government spending on things we do not necessarily need to put money into, things such as PBS and certain welfare programs. In addition, I plan to help cut taxes to help middle-class people who are struggling the most today. Less costs for government funding will mean less needs of taxpayer money. Overall, I plan to work to fixing the United States economic problem the same way Romney worked to pull Massachusetts out of a $1.5 billion deficit by cutting spending and increasing fees. I won't say it'll be an easy job or that it'll be done instantly. However, by the end of our 4 years, I assure you that we will have made much better progress than the last 4 years.
It is a great pleasure to be here today, standing before y'all. On this occasion, we gather and we are prompted to discuss and debate the nature of policies. However, it is more than that. Today, we gather here, together, to examine the current state of this great nation. A nation that has endured many hardships and quarrel for hundreds of years. We gather here today on the grounds laid by centuries of hard work and dedication, a dedication to bettering the quality of life, ourselves and our neighbors. As Aristotle once observed, men come together in cities in order to live, but they remain together in order to live the good life. There is no final objective. We are constantly forging a new path, a path towards a greater and harmonious society. In this society, children are to be nurtured and learned equally and wholly. There's opportunity for immigrants and newcomers seeking a new start. People shall not be denied the care they need in order to remain in the proper health because it is beyond their grasp. But alas, these ideas have not yet been realized. There is partly due to the condition of solidarity that many of us seem to possess. Although we may not find agreement on every issue, as a nation we must compromise. It is our best option for untying the knot of mistakes that have been made in the recent past. Throughout this debate, I hope to present solutions to the more pressing issues of our current state of affairs, find a common ground, so we may all move forward in restoring this great nation to its intended glory.
The first question is for Ryan. How would you go about the welfare system? How would you control who gets it and who doesn't to ensure that it isn't taken advantage of?
So the welfare system right now it's very similar as the one that was created originally, and there is a act, it's called TANF, that affects the change, and it says that everybody who is working hard for their welfare money, their money from the government, there we go, should get it, and then people who are not working for it do not deserve it. And Romney will keep it that way so that the people who are working hard are not getting their money taken away by people who are not working hard who say they need it.
Thank you. As for Biden, I'll say question to you. How would you go about the welfare system? How would you control who gets it and who doesn't to ensure that it is taken advantage of?
Well, as my opponent mentioned before, the TANF is a great way for lower class families to receive aid. President Obama's plan is that about 50% of the people on welfare on TANF must be working hard. Families must be working hard. The other half is really need-based, but they get credits for completing job-related activities such as internships and college education. This ensures that people get out of welfare quickly and get into better jobs rather than cutting welfare completely.
Do you have any response to that, Kat? Brian?
Yes, Romney's program would not completely cut welfare. It would only limit it to those who actually have worked in the past and are working at present. to to try and get their family out of poverty. That way, once they get out of that lower class area, they can continue to live in their life that they have established as a middle class citizen or better. And there's one other thing you said. Can't remember right now.
Next question for Biden. Who would be able to apply for the program?
For welfare?
Yes.
Well, welfare is for the lowest of the lower class. It is for people who are struggling, especially with families, although everyone is eligible. People who have families are needed the most because they need to support their children, and people making very low ends of the spectrum, saying maybe minimum wage and slightly higher will be most eligible for welfare, especially those who are working jobs. Everyone is eligible for welfare, but if you are pursuing a career or working hard to support your family, you get more money.
Ryan, what would you do? What would excuse me? Who would be able to apply for the program?
Okay, so people who would be able to apply for this program are people who have continuously proved that they are trying to get themselves out of the lower class. And like Biden said, the program that would be installed under Obama is for everybody. But this program also says that people who go around and find all these loopholes, such as not marrying and having a family, and being a single parent and having a family, those people will get more money, and it's not fair because they're not getting married and having that joint income just so that they can get both welfare checks, which is not fair to the people who are both working or who have two parents in a household and are both working hard to try and get their income up, but they can't because of the current economic situation.
Biden, do you have any response to?
Yes, I do have a response. What Romney's plan is to cut the welfare by taking more people out of welfare, which is a wonderful thing. We don't want any Americans at all in welfare. However, President Obama's opponent Romney and his Vice President, hopeful Paul Ryan, do believe that welfare should be ended by taking people who are less eligible out of welfare. I believe, and so does President Obama, that welfare should be gotten rid of by taking everybody out of welfare and into disabled jobs. Ryan also has a quote here from a little short time ago. He says 30% of Americans want welfare, the other 70% want American dream. And this is his personal opinion on the people who are in the lowest class, who are struggling the hardest to survive. And I believe that he is false in his assertion that the Romney campaign is focusing on helping the poorest people. And
Time to move on to the next question.
Okay, for Ryan, what welfare system do you plan to cut the balance out of the budget?
And there's a graph right behind you if you need any assistance with that.
So, of the programs that are up here, I would say that Medicaid would be the one that would probably be taken out because it has the most money spent on it, and there are also a lot of people on it. A lot of people who are not necessarily deserving of this government grant, because they're going and just using the free health care to get out of paying the insurance, which would also kind of fits into Romney's plan on welfare, because he says that private companies should be used more often than having a government welfare system, because with the private companies, they would be bringing in their own revenue, which would also help circulate the money in the United States. And it also I just lost what I was saying.
Biden, what welfare systems do you plan to cut to balance out the budget?
Well, Barack and I believe that we don't need a